Hey guys, it's Jeff here with a reaction to Breaking Bad, Season 3, Episode 9, called Kafkaesque. I'm so happy that the show has found its footing this season. This episode was a little slower than the last two. Not too much happens in it. It's more setting it up, I think, for the final stretch, the last three episodes. But I liked it. There was a lot of little scenes that were cool in it. One, off the bat, I like the fact that Hank is still in the hospital. He's still in a lot of pain, and it's not clear whether he'll ever walk again. I thought that was a nice touch because I've seen this a bunch of times. Like two examples right off the top of my head: The Shield and The Sopranos, where Tony and Vic Mackey both got shot, and they're like out of the hospital in the next episode, walking around like you could get shot and everything's gonna be fine. That was good. I loved the best scene in the episode probably was the meeting between Gustavo and Walt. I think Walt called the meeting. Yeah, he says it straight out. He's like, because he wanted to clear the air because Walt pieced together what Gustavo did. And so there's no question about it anymore. Gustavo, I mean, we know this basically. Gustavo steered the guys away from Walt towards Hank, but he was also, there was a little reveal in this, like, he was setting it up so that he would have complete control of the whole region. Because with the Mexicans cut off, he's gonna be making even more money off of Walt's blue meth now. That was a cool scene. I liked like how their faces were like half lit, and Walt looked all sinister. But Gustavo offered him a permanent job, and it looks like Walt took it. Now, this scene immediately following that, where Walt tried to commit suicide by like running into oncoming traffic with his eyes closed. I'm not sure what to make of that. Like, why did he do that? Does he just want to escape? Does he think that like his family would get money if he died anyways, and he doesn't have to do it anymore? I don't didn't get that. Another scene I liked was with Jesse at AA or whatever, talking about his teacher in woodshop that asked him, "Is that the best you could do?" That's the Jesse I'd like to see more of instead of what we got in most of this episode and what looks like the rest of the season. This goofy idiot, like driven by some sort of notion that he's an outlaw or something. It's so stupid. It's just, it's almost bad writing. Then again, I know Jesse's like early 20s. I think he's probably a couple years younger than me, and you do stupid things, I guess, at that age. I don't know. I'm still hoping like maybe it'll come to bear out that the reason he's acting out like this is he's still upset about his girlfriend dying and just upset about his place in life, but he's just being stupid. It's Walt says to him like, "You are a millionaire, and you're gonna sit here and complain." And now he's skimming meth. Uh, I'm sure there's like some other scene in there that I'm missing that was good, but those were the big scenes of the episode. Really, the biggest thing was the meeting with Gustavo. I thought and then the fact that Jesse's skimming now, and and then the final scene, which was it was okay. It was interesting. Like they're sitting there in the hospital room. I thought Walt would figure out a way to give them money so they could pay for Hank's physical therapy. Oh, that was another scene that I liked was Hank's wife. I forget her name. Walt's wife's sister trying to figure out the treatment to get Hank, and you know finding out what the insurance company won't cover, and it was a nice little jab at the insurance companies. But I thought, Walt's gonna drop a bag of money into their mailbox or something. They'll just spend it to pay for his bills. But instead, without consulting with Walt, his ex-wife can't remember her name right now either, for some Skylar, offers the money to her sister, and then, her sister's like, you guys don't have money. And she's like, yeah, we do. And then she comes up with this whole bogus story about how Hank was gambling and he had a gambling addiction, but he worked out a card counting system, and he's made a bunch of money. It's just a ballsy move on her part, because if I'm Walt, I'm starting to think she's dangerous. I don't know. That's just what I would be thinking. I know it's his wife, and it's his whole motivation is to provide for his family, but at this point, he is Heisenberg. Walt is no longer a chemistry teacher. In fact, I think he got fired or something, didn't he? He's fully committed to this, and so he's gonna ride it out. Who knows what'll happen? But at the end of it, like after the sister leaves, like he goes and talks to Skylar, and he's like, "Where did you come up with all that stuff? Like that whole bogus story?" And she's like, "I learned from the best." She's like, "I still think you have something to do with Hank being in the hospital. And I won't let you forget that." And that's how it ended. You just get like a final shot of Walter like thinking. I don't know if they're gonna go anywhere else with that, but it's kind of opened up a can of worms now, where, or at least Walt has to stick to this bogus story now with Hank's wife, and probably with Hank down the road when she obviously is going to tell him. And it's another degree of him getting more suspicious and having to live more double lives and lies and stuff like that. So that's about it for this episode, except I just have to mention, I don't know if anyone saw the preview for next episode. It looks freaking amazing. The next episode is called Fly, and I think the description for it says something, Walt becomes concerned with a contaminant in the lab, and I think that's trying to throw people off. The preview and like the 3 minute clip that they show on AMCTV.com, it looks like to me like Walt's gonna quickly figure out, because Walt's sharp, that they're not producing the amount of meth that they should be, and I think he's gonna figure out that Jesse's skimming right away, and that's gonna lead to like the preview for next episode makes it look like this mini movie that takes place just between Walt and Jesse, just like the good old days, all taking place in like their little super lab, where there's gonna be like a violent confrontation. There's like glass breaking, and you see Jesse coming with a axe or a hammer or something, like a sledgehammer. You see Walt laying on the floor. You see Walt locking Jesse in a separate room down there in the lab. It just looks insane. I can't wait to see it. Like, this week was a good episode, but like I said, slower than the last couple. And it just really, all I know is now that I've seen the preview for the next one, I cannot wait for the next episode. Episode 10, The Fly. Or just Fly. So that's it. I'll try to keep doing these every week for Breaking Bad, and thanks for watching, guys.